What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
Fun one this weekend. We got Wonderboy versus the Trailblazer. Great strikers matchup, but I feel like both guys are really in search of a win here.
I totally agree. And the matchmakers for the UFC certainly know what to give the fans right there before Christmas. You're going to give us a free fight night with Wonderboy Thompson and Kevin Holland, two of the most exciting strikers that the UFC's had in a meaningful period of time. I feel like this is a really good main event. Orlando's getting graced with a great card because from top to bottom, there's a lot of good fights on it, but this main event definitely stands out.
Definitely. And Kevin is a favorite to win this fight, but not by much. He's a minus 140 favorite to plus 115 for Wonderboy Thompson. And I think that's just reflective of the fact that Wonderboy will be 40 years old this coming February. And he's kind of reaching the end of his career, especially with the way he fights. He's a so dynamic striker. He's very fun to watch. He uses a lot of kicks, angles. He relies heavily on his quickness and movement, and as we know with age, that tends to fade a little bit, whereas you can see some of the grapplers who are really strong and use that pressure game can carry on into their late 30s and 40s, but with strikers, there seems to be an expiration date, and it appears that Wonderboy is approaching his. So I actually do think Kevin Holland will likely win this fight. I think it's going to be very competitive. I think he really needs to watch out for the kicks of Wonderboy because he throws them from all angles, including in close range, which you're not, if you haven't ever fought somebody like Stephen Thompson, you really don't expect kicks from that range, and he can surprise you with them. But I think Kevin's going to be ready for him.
Yeah, this is actually a big fight for Kevin Holland because for the longest time, it was only world champions that were able to get their hand raised against him. Now he has gotten a little bit older. He's not quite as active as he used to be. And, you know, when you're fighting all the best killers at 170, it can start to wear on your body after a while. So Kevin Holland is certainly looking to get his hand raised in this one. And I feel like with his electric fighting style and the way he's able to promote and sell fights, this could set him up for a really nice run at 170. You know, everybody looks at him as one of the top prospects that's kind of always willing to fight, always willing to bounce around. You know, we just saw him get second place against Khamzat Chimaev, but that was on 48 hours notice or so, and there was a whole bunch of stuff on that card. So I feel like Kevin Holland is a company man. The UFC loves to see him do this stuff, steps in on short notice, fights anyone at any time. And I won't get into all the secrets, but Kevin Holland has been spending some time at Main Street Boxing, which is my home gym. And it's pretty cool to see what he's doing, getting himself ready for this fight. He's always entertaining. He's always exciting. But this one feels like it's going to be a really fun fight. Look for something really spectacular to happen, whether it comes from Wonderboy or Holland or a combined mixture of both. I think this one's going to be super fun.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and say that Kevin Holland's going to win via unanimous decision. I do think Wonderboy, even in his later years, is very difficult to finish. He's extremely durable, and I think sometimes he might even be a bit underrated for how durable he actually is. So I'm going to call decision victory 49-46 for Holland. But the bigger question is, if my prediction is correct, that's several losses in a row for Wonderboy. As I said, he's going to be 40 years old in February. Do you think we could possibly see a retirement of Stephen Thompson given a loss or even perhaps a win?
It's hard to say. You know, Wonderboy does feel like the kind of guy that is still youthful, even though he is pushing 40 years old. But at the same time, you have to look at your career and be realistic. At 40 years old, it's next to impossible to get a title shot. And if you're not having these crazy win streaks go your way right towards the end, like a Glover Teixeira did, it's almost impossible to find yourself in a title shot. And I feel like Wonderboy Thompson has checked everything off the list except for become UFC world champion. And if that's not in the sights anymore, what is he doing it for? Maybe to make a few extra bucks, and he probably is still getting paid really well, but I don't see him being in a title fight anytime soon, even if he does get his hand raised in this one. So I do have to question whether he's going to continue going or not. I think Wonderboy would be excellent on the analyst board. I think he'd be a lot of fun to listen to. He obviously has a great presence on YouTube. If you haven't been over to his channel, I highly recommend you go check it out, especially if you're a fighter, because he's always giving some great knowledge and leaving some great nuggets as far as technique goes. But Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is going to have some serious soul searching and questions to answer for himself after this fight, whether he wins or loses.
I think it's 50-50 whether he wins or loses, and I say you're absolutely right. The analyst desk has got a seat ready for him to go because I think he would probably do that job just as good as anybody.
Absolutely. Imagine him with like Dominic Cruz. I mean, you'd be getting the technique out the wazoo. It'd be almost like an overload of great technique, especially when it comes to the striking realm.
No doubt. Thanks for watching this video, guys. We're your hub for all things combat sports. If that's your jam, we appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video, and drop us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Peace.